Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we explore the 10 facts about Damien Hirst. Before we get started, be sure to give that like button a little love and hit subscribe to stay in the loop for future exciting content. People are afraid of change, so you create a kind of belief for them through repetition. It's like breathing. I've always been attracted to series in pairs. A single thing is quite a frightening object. Damien Hirst, since emerging onto the international art scene in the late 1980s, Damien Hirst created installations, sculptures, paintings, and drawings that examine the complex relationships between art and beauty, religion, science, and life and death. From multicolored stained paintings to animal specimens preserved in vats of formaldehyde, her work challenges contemporary belief systems, tracing the uncertainties that underlie the anatomy of the human experience. Discover 7 facts about Damien Hirst. 1. Loves to shock viewers and push boundaries. Over the years, the work of Damien Hirst has drawn outrage, but also admiration from the public. With heavy themes involving death and decay, the British artist managed to reach fame. Shocking and visually stunning, the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living, which features a shark preserved in a vat of formaldehyde, was the piece that cemented his career as an artist who was not afraid to push boundaries. 2. Internship at a mortuary. While a student at Goldsmiths, University of London, Damien Hirst did an internship at a morgue. This stage influenced much of his later works, such as the famous work, The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living. In fact, death has been central to his work from the beginning, having stated that he deals with death in art, not with life. Hirst's frequent depiction of mortality has many critics convinced that his passion is in fact a visceral response to a deeply rooted fear of death. 3. Damien Hirst created the most expensive work of art by a living artist. Hirst claimed in an interview that, for the love of God, cost him a whopping £8 million to finance, but the final figure came to an even greater sum of £15 million. After 18 months in the making, the bejeweled skull was finally displayed at White Q and garnered international media attention due to its unbelievable price. To this day, For the Love of God is considered the most expensive work of contemporary art ever made. It's not surprising that For the Love of God fetched such a mind-boggling price tag, as it's made up of 2 of the most precious and expensive materials on the market, platinum and crystalline diamonds. The entire skull is studded with diamonds, weighing in at a tremendous 1,106.18 carats in total. The huge pink diamond in front of the skull alone weighs 52.4 carats. If this monumental project proves anything, it's that diamonds really are a man's best friend. Damien Hirst. 4. The Cherry Blossom series comes from a memory with your mother. Damien Hirst admitted in an interview that his mother claimed that animals in formaldehyde were horrible, and asked him if he couldn't paint flowers. At the age of 55, the British painter finally pleased his mother with the Cherry Blossom series. But they are more than just flower paintings. Cherry Blossom are lush and vivid, but also excessive and messy. As Hirst stated, some people think cherry blossoms are about life and others think they are about death. They bring together the past, present, and future, everything we love and everything we hate. The subject arises in part from a memory of Hirst's mother painting a cherry tree in bloom when Damien Hirst was 3 or 4 years old. It's also a follow-up to the all-abstract veil paintings that showed in Los Angeles in 2018. I tried to create a sense of depth and ended up seeing gardens in the shimmering strokes of paint. 5. Has already been involved in several lawsuits. Since emerging on the British art scene in the late 1980s, Hirst has been a polarizing figure, with some critics hailing him as a genius and others dismissive of his work. Over the years, the artist has also been the subject of several high-profile lawsuits, including several cases of legal threats surrounding copyright infringement by other artists and companies. One of the most famous cases was in 2000 when Hirst agreed to pay an undisclosed sum to the charity Humbrol to settle a copyright dispute sparked by his 20-foot bronze sculpture, Him, which was rumored to be a direct copy of young scientist anatomy set. 6. Damien Hirst, not just an artist, but a true empire. Ever since an Irish accountant named Frank Dunphy The name Damien Hirst, it is not even an artist, but a real empire, with around 100 employees. Despite the controversies, Damien Hirst is considered one of the most profitable artists in the world of contemporary art. Last year, Hirst spoke to The Guardian about his relationship with his manager and his approach to business. He recalled, "I always remember something Frank said to me early on, right after my play Him sold for $1 million to Saatchi. He said, 'You can't worry about the value, Damien. A work of art. Art is only worth what the next person decides to pay for it.' Frank was the first and only person I knew who understands money on that level, and who is honest." 7. Irony is a constant in the work of Damien Hirst. The artist also has a fascination with what keeps us alive, in particular medication. In 1992, he created the pharmacy, a room-sized installation filled with medicine, arranged in the order of the human body, with medicine for the head on the top shelf and so on. In conjunction with the installation shown at the Tate Modern in 1998, Hirst opened a restaurant called Pharmacy in Notting Hill, where staff wore surgical gowns and there were aspirin pill-style bar stools. It was later forced to change the name after the Royal Pharmaceutical Society of Britain took legal action, claiming it was against Section 78 of the Medicines Act 1968. Damien Hirst briefly renamed the Army Chap, an anagram of pharmacy, before settling on the name Pharmacy Restaurant. 8. A rule breaker from a young age. Hailing from Leeds and born halfway through the swinging 60s, Hirst is a child of the heady reaction to post-war Britain. A time of great social change, the 60s saw the birth of youth culture and of great social movement. As social rules were ripped up, Hirst too tried to rewrite the rules. Arrested twice as a child for shoplifting, and even from stealing art supplies at school, Hirst displayed a penchant for art from a young age despite achieving an E grade in his O-levels. The rest, as they say, is history. 9. Spot paintings and the issue of originality. Another point of controversy surrounding Hirst's career is his spot paintings. These are a series of works made up of rows of randomly colored circles. Critics argue that these pieces, often created by his assistants, raise questions about authorship and originality in art. The fact that these works were mass-produced by a team rather than the artist himself led many to question the value and authenticity of the pieces. Hirst countered these criticisms, arguing that the conception of the idea, rather than its execution, is what constitutes art. 10. The king of controversial. From his dissection of animals, preserved in formaldehyde to his spot paintings and diamond-encrusted skulls, Hirst has persistently blurred the line between creative genius and sensationalism. Please support and show appreciation by hitting super thanks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We appreciate you being part of our community. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.